upset.
That's kind of scary. You heard about Jordan Parsons and the CTE?
Isn't he like 25?
Right.
And he only had 2 losses and 1 by KO.
It's like I know we got CTE, man. Like
CTE.
Chronic traumatic encephalacy.
Head trauma.
From head trauma?
Yeah. Brain damage. Yeah.
But they can't test it, and they can't see it until you're dead. It's post-mortem or autopsy.
Ugh.
So it's like...
he had it, or the car... Parsons one that got hit by the car, right?
Yeah. And he was only 25.
And then they found out that he had that and didn't even know?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Well, what's crazy is he was okay. I mean, he was articulate. He fought well.
Fully functioning.
And then they do this test on him, and they're like, yeah. Well, what they're concerned with is that they're missing out on, a lot of the damage that you're getting in the gym, and that there's no way to really detect it until you're dead. But it's just like this slow creeping thing that's happening to you.
And then, I mean, when does that, like a guy like Jordan Parsons, 25 years old, fully functional, articulate, he can hang with any conversation, but then what does that mean when he's 60 or 45?
Yeah, that's the big question. What does that mean? Yeah. What does it mean for a guy like Peter Ertz? He's been KO'd like 14 times.
Right. Yeah.
Melvin Manhoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking cyborg.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he didn't have it before, after that knee, he's got it now.
Mm-hmm.
He probably has.
But if he has it after, just 2, I'm sure I already have it then.
Yeah. Like we all, I
How many
promise
football
you,
players,
They all
every
have
football
it.
player. My cousin had concussions and multiple concussions just playing high school football,
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
That's probably, I mean, if you could see it, that would probably be an epidemic right now. If you could see who had it.
Right. If it was like a light bulb that went off on their head.
Yeah.
What do we know about it, though? Like,
Well,
what is
it's
it?
degenerative. It takes time to show its full effects. 8 to 10 years after you're diagnosed with it, you really start seeing the damage because it slowly gets worse.
Start drooling and shit like
Depending,
No.
of course, on whether or not you still receive damage.
Supposedly there's some athletes, some NFL athletes that either killed themselves or did some extremely violent things because they weren't fully functioning.
that.
Yeah.
Like that Will Smith movie.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, you think about like these the WWF guys or like the pro wrestlers. They always end up
They
dying
have
of
it
these
too.
fucking psychotic, fucking crazy deaths.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, they're on steroids. Well,
No.
maybe they get fucking slammed in the head. And like, have you seen Kurt Angle outside of the ring lately?
No.
He like looks like crippled, like
He
fucking,
can't even
like,
turn his head.
Can't even hardly
He
move.
walks like
He,
Batman.
Looks terrible, and then they turn the camera on, and he's like, oh, like, he like pulls it together. But he looks really fucking bad, huh?
Yeah.
A buddy of mine just went to a high school football game, and he said in a high school football game he saw 6 kids get laid out, where they boom collide, and these kids are just laying down, fucking knocked unconscious, out of their fucking mind in a high school football game.
Think about that, though. I mean, you're taking some of the best in high school. They're best athletes in their school, but when you get to the NFL level, some of the best athletes in the world, you put them in a box and you just say go 60 times, and they just run into each other. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's, they're going to have brain trauma.
Yeah.
And there's no way around that.
Way
no
before
way.
all of the money comes in and all of the other people like guiding you come into play. When you're a high school kid, and then you got these fucking crazy dads. They're like, "Come on, son, you gotta be tough." Like my cousin had like a broken ankle, but like still played the fucking state championship. It's like in Ohio, is like big football town, And yeah, he had like multiple concussions and playing with injuries and all that shit because it was like a big deal. But
Yeah, you got to be a man.
Yeah, you gotta be a man.
Crazy. The biggest fight in kickboxing history. Badr Hari is an excellent fighter, but it's my time. I am the champ. Fighting with shin protection and headgear is already a household name in Japan, where the real men were fighting.
Such a G. That's probably like the 4th thing that they were like, no, you can't say
I
that.
love
And he
that.
wrote another one. No, you can't say that. Okay, fine. Your household name. Okay, we'll take that.
That's going to be a crazy fight, man. Yeah, there's the real problem with all this CTE shit is there's nothing they can do about it. It's not like you get a broken bone and they can put in a titanium rod and they can screw it in place and I'm going to heal up. I'll be all right after a while.
CBD.
But it's just that we don't know that yet. I mean, there's nothing they can do about it now.
Right.
But so I guess the next step would be to figure out a way to test for it while people are still alive.
What do you got up here, Jamie? What is this? Is this Joe Namath?
He's gone under hyperbaric oxygen therapy, it says, HbO2, and he says this is his quote right here. He's got a trial he's trying to get some money for at a research center where they're going to do testing to see if they can.
Says my thinking is much clearer. Explains finding the right words has become easier, and I remember events with more clarity. One of the really great results is my sleep has improved. I sleep more soundly, and I have vivid dreams. With the therapy now completed, Joe maintains that the lasting benefits are both mental and physical, and now more energy and strength. I feel great. How much pussy do you think he's getting still? Joe Namath used to walk around with a fucking gigantic fur coat on back when you could wear fur.
Yeah.
Just balling out of control in the 1970s. Those are old school dudes, man. Old school football players. They get fucking banged up.
So yeah, I think if you, now that they've like recognized this is a thing, then they can start looking into how you fix it or whatever. But I'm sure like CBD oil and altitude hyperbaric chambers and all that shit, right?
Well, hyperbaric is the
mushrooms,
exact opposite of altitude. Like high altitude is low oxygen, hyperbaric is high altitude or high oxygen.
So they find that if they oversaturate you with oxygen, that all of your cells tend to open up, and then it starts to figure out new ways to repair itself. Is the idea between that?
It's supposed to be great for broken bones. It's supposed to be great when people have injuries, like recovery time decreases.
Well, the red blood cells. It increases your red blood cells, right? And that's what helps with the healing.
No, I think that's the hyper. The one with less oxygen increases the red blood cells, I think. The more oxygen is what repairs. Oh. And I think it's supposed to be really good for. I did it a few times after my to repair from like knockouts.
Did you feel it? Do you feel a difference?
I never felt a difference ever, like negatively, but I just did it to be safe, you know?
Smart.
Are you one of those guys that doesn't feel like the effects of things? Say you're taking some supplement that's supposed to be great and you don't really feel it.
No, I feel like I have a really good awareness of my body. Like I try to be really good about that. But I mean, after like being knocked out, like I've been knocked out I think 3 times now, where it was like a half hour after the fight where I still look pretty fucked up, you know. And then after that happens, I'm like really aware of it. And, like I even asked my girl, like, am I being normal? Like, am I slower? I'm like, fuck, I keep forgetting my car keys. And like, dude, you're high as fuck all the time now. I'm like, are you sure I'm not like dumber? Like, no, just you're high. You always lost your keys, babe.
Ironically good for your brain.
Yeah.
It's good for inflammation.
But you never know. You don't want to end up be that guy that that is like slurring and slower.
Right.
We've all seen those punchy guys in the gym, you know.
And those guys who are punchy in the gym and they start talking about fighting again.
Yeah.
We've all seen those guys where they in their mind they're just got to get in shape.
Yeah.
They still got it. They can go back and do it again, and
you just want to tell them, yeah, man. Joe, you said after you get knocked out once or twice, 30 minutes later. So I've been knocked out like 2 or 3 times also, but only one of them do I remember not remembering a big chunk of change. So when I fought Stout, I don't remember leaving the cage. I don't remember walking back. I remember sitting there with Tyron and somebody else and the doctor, and I'm talking and I'm literally saying something, and then I realize my wife's in here, and my consciousness comes back to me in the middle of while I'm speaking to Tyron. I'm talking to Tyron and I'm looking at my wife like, why the hell is she back here? Like, and then I asked him, man. He told me what happened, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't remember fighting any of that. I don't remember any of that. I just know what happened because I watched the tape. So
to this day, you don't have a functional memory.
No, I saw Stitch that night, and he was like, "We talked on your way backstage." I don't remember that conversation at all. I don't remember the walk from the octagon back to the doctor's office.
I think it's been 2 or 3 times I've been knocked out. Maybe 3 times probably I've been knocked out, and it was just one time where that's ever happened. That's like the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Was it the last one?
No, it was my first one actually. Or second one, when Simon. No, Was it Simon? I think it was Eddie Walker.
Did you go
and
out?
Lion fight. I was winning the entire fight and went for like one fast thing and got clipped. And they woke me up in the ring, and they walked me backstage, but I don't remember walking backstage. And I remember Scott Kent, the Lion fight promoter, was like checking on me and like talking to me, and I came to like as I was talking to him, and I'm like, oh, coach, I need your phone. I gotta call my girl, let her know I'm okay, because I know they watched it. And I call, and she's like laughing. I'm like, what the fuck are you laughing about? Like, I just got knocked out. She's like, this is the 4th time you called me. And I was like, oh. And other than that, I've been cool ever since then.
Yeah,
that was the only time. It was like
times.
It was a good like 15 minutes that I had no recollection of.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? What happened? You tell them, and then they ask you again, what happened?
You always see that with the guy in the back locker room. Like, oh, like, what happened though? And like 5 minutes later, like, what happened though? Like, bro, you still got knocked out. Like, you got fucked up. That's kind of scary.
That is such a weird thing, the missing time thing.
Yeah, because I mean, you're interacting with people, and like, what is that? Well, what part of your brain is turned off for that period of time?
Yeah,
that's strange. It's scary too.
But that was why after Overeem fought Stipe, I was like, you can't do this anymore. You can't interview guys after they got knocked out. It's just not fair. It's just not. It's not right.
Yeah,
that was really cool of you to do that. Like, from a fighter from that perspective, like that was like dope shit that you did. You said that, like, stuck up for that, because watching it as a fighter, I'm the type of guy like, if somebody starts like saying something embarrassing, like I almost want to turn it off. Like, I get embarrassed for people all the time. And,
people think that like I hung Overeem out to dry. I didn't know if he was right or not.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I mean, if you don't know what we're talking about, after the fight, Overeem got knocked out pretty bad. But it was a fight where there was moments where he had his moments in the fight. He tagged Stipe, had Stipe rocked. I mean, it was a crazy 1 round. And after the fight, he said, that Stipe won, but that he feels that Stipe tapped. That he got a hold of the guillotine and Stipe tapped. And I went, whoa, okay, well, let's take a look at it. And we couldn't see it. And then I said, do you think it's at another angle? And he said, yes, I do. Okay, let's see it again. So we showed it at a different angle. There was definitely no tap. And so then I'm like, this poor dude, like, he just, in front of all these fucking people in Cleveland, he just gets knocked out. And now it makes it look like he's a sore loser. But you can't count on his memory right now. He just got shut off, and Alistair's been shut off a ton of times. He's lost in the UFC by knockout. He's lost to Travis Brown by knockout. He's lost to Ben Rothwell by knockout. Yeah, but this is just in the UFC. Bigfoot Silva by knockout. Stipe Miocic by knockout. Am I missing anybody? He's been KO'd 4 times just in the UFC, at least, right? Has anybody else KO'd him? No, I think that's it. In the UFC. Then you got to think all the times he's been KO'd. Sergey Kharitonov knocked him out. Shogun knocked him out twice, right?
Yep.
Didn't he?
Chuck
knocked him out. Yeah, Chuck KO'd him. Brutal KO.
Yep.
Yeah, Botter knocked him out. Botter stopped him. But the Botter stoppage wasn't the worst one in the world.
That was a weird stoppage.
It was a 2 knockdown thing in a tournament. He got knocked down, and they stopped the fight.
I didn't even get knocked down, but he was fucking wobbled.
Yeah, he got wobbled in the last one. He got kicked, and he fell down, and that was it. So, I mean, a ton of KOs, a ton of KO losses.